Hey, it's RKA, and this is episode 18 of Awkward Marketing. Yes, that's right, this thing that I'm doing every week, it has a name now, Awkward Marketing. Why Awkward Marketing? Well, it's really simple, because marketing yourself is awkward, and if you're running a small business in 2017, you gotta do it anyway. So together is better, people. And so that's what this is all about, pushing past the awkward so that you can build an awesome business. Heather, I'm so happy to see you. And also, you can't spell awkward without RKA. So that's another thing for it. I'm RKA, your fearless leader. I'm here to say hello, Natalie, Heather, Roberto. It's a party, as always. And the party today is a scale party. We're talking about scale. Boom. Bigger, smaller. What are you doing? I don't know. I just started yelling things out about sizes. You know, when I think about scale, I think about sizes. Just sizes of things. Medium, extra small, petite. Woo! It's gonna be a wild one today, folks. No, if you caught my podcast episode last week on the Marketing in Yoga Pants podcast, I'll put the link in the notes after this, then you know I'm all about the organic scaling, baby. And I'm going to be throwing around that term a little bit during this live and in the future. Organic scaling. I'm all about organic scaling. But before we get there, you're definitely going to want to check out that podcast episode. Let's talk about what we're going to be chatting about today. 3 signs it's time to launch your course or your membership site. And on the flip side, how to know when no, it's not time. Red flag, get out of here. Wait a minute, hold up. So we're going to be talking about how to know it's time and how to know it's not time. And if you're in that little weird wiggle room area of between it's time and not time, how to prepare so that you can launch a course, a program, a membership, and basically, you know, all these things I'm throwing around here. I'm talking about scaling. I'm talking about passive income. I'm talking about making money in your sleep, which isn't that the eternal bullshit. I'm sorry to say bullshit, but it is, because there's so many people out there selling this dream of like, just put together your course and like you'll fall asleep and wake up a millionaire. What had happened to me? You hear that, you see that, and it makes you thirsty a little bit. Who hasn't been in that space at like 11:30 p.m.? You've had a long day and you're still like scrolling through your Facebook because you can't help yourself, looking for a way to improve your business, make more money, and you see it. That post about how you could do this 6-week program, launch your course, and you're going to be a millionaire. Damn it, don't you deserve it? You work so hard. And you get sucked in, right? You want to believe it's possible. And you put your life savings into it. Maybe you put all your hopes and dreams. You put your retirement money into this dream of making money in your sleep. And it doesn't always go the way we planned, folks. So that's why this is a cautionary tale. And it's also a tale of hope, and it's a tale of dreams, because I'm not saying never, folks. I'm saying there's a time and a place. So let's get to it. 3 signs it's time to launch your course, your program, your membership site. And the first one, I am paying homage to that podcast episode of Marketing in Yoga Pants. You got to check it out. Check it out, marketinginyogapants.com. I am paying some homage there, because we talked a little bit in that episode about how I developed my signature process, which then kind of turned into a course. And at this point, I'm working on it becoming an even bigger course. How did that happen to me? Guess what? I was the person that was like, no, never. I'm never gonna teach people anything. They don't need nothing from me. I was so passionately against teaching. I didn't want to put together like a program like how you too can put together a WordPress site. I wasn't about it. So I resisted. Well, guess what happened instead? A course happened to me. A workshop happened to me. Teaching happened to me against my will, and this is how it happened. Over the years of working with one-on-one with clients and sometimes working with small groups, I had best practices. Let's just say that. Over the years, I worked on some ways that, worked really well with clients. I tried some things that didn't work. I saw the exercises and the kind of step-by-step formulas that help my clients get results. And then I also experienced the things I was doing with clients that didn't work at all. And over time, I started to develop a signature process, my signature process, how I work with people and how I get them results. It didn't happen because I wanted it to. I wasn't like, hey, one day I'm like, you know what, I could use a signature process. That's what I could use. No, it happened day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, working with my clients, finding what worked so well for them. And what did I do? I codified it. I turned it into a process that I could use again and again and again and again. I got systems around it. I got people around it. I created a manual. I created a workflow. I created interactive form. And suddenly I woke up one day and I had a course, dag nabbit. I had a course whether I liked it or not. It was a course as well as I said, a signature process, a signature way that I work with clients one-on-one to get the very, very, very best results. So, this is a long way of saying the number one sign that it's time for you to create a course or a membership site is because it's literally happening to you. It's coming naturally, organically out of the work you're doing, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's in groups, whether you're doing online, offline. You know, the first sign that it's time to scale and to move into more passive, income through a course or a membership site is that course, that process, that experience is just coming out of you. You can't help yourself. That's it. And you'll know when it happens to you. And it doesn't happen all at once. It doesn't happen all at once. It isn't like one day it just it's just there it is. It does happen over time, bit by bit. Suddenly you look over your shoulder and like, hey, what's that over yonder? It's a signature process for, helping my clients get the best results. What? I could turn that into a ... That's how the story begins, folks. So that's the first sign. The second time that it's time to start thinking about a course or a membership program for your business is you are teaching. I'm looking at my notes. Can you see me? I'm like, I don't know. It's the second sign is my notes say. Okay. My notes tell me, and I told me because I wrote this out of it, is that you're teaching and creating content and you're reaching capacity. So let's say you've got some mastermind groups that you do and you're teaching groups live and in person and you look at your schedule and you are exhausted. You're doing it all the time, constantly. You've reached your capacity. You like that? This is all real, folks. This is all real, okay? Nothing's manufactured in the Awkward Marketing Live show. So, yeah, you're reaching capacity. You're doing it. You're working with clients and you're at the point where you're like, okay, I have more people coming in. I have more people knocking at my door. I have more people interested in working with me, learning from me than I could ever possibly accommodate with hours in the day. That's just a blaring in your face, me, time to scale, you're at capacity. That's all there is to it, So when you're starting to get to the point that your schedule is booked, you're doing the work and you're doing it with people, but there's more people out there that want to, want your guidance, want your insights, want to work with you than you could ever possibly accommodate in your daily schedule. Even if you're doing it in groups, that's your sign number 2, that it's time to start doing a program, a course, a membership, something, so you can reach more people, so you can truly reach one too many. So that's sign number 2. The third sign, whoa, man, today is a day, because I'm going to have to look at I'm looking at my notes all day. So the third sign is that it's time to create that course, that membership program and this is a 2-parter. There's 2 parts to it. You are creating content. You are a prolific content creator. You've got content out the wazoo. You have more content than you know what to do with. You've got years of content built up. You've got a blog or a video or notes are fun, aren't they? You've got an archive that goes so far back and is so deep that your audience you've got to kind of already curate for them and say, listen, there's a ton of stuff right over here. Just check this out here. Here are my 5 best. Here are my greatest hits. You've got so much content. So that's part 1. You got a ton of content. So much content. It's oozing out of your pores, right? And the second step though is, and this is the important one. This is where it really comes down to, and people freaking love it. They're eating it up. Now, if you've been blogging for years, and I hate to be harsh, I don't want to be harsh. I love to be a hope giver, a light bringer, but sometimes I just got to be real. If you've been creating content for years and like 4 people and 3 of them being family members are looking at it, then that's probably a sign to you it's not time yet to unveil an online course, a program, a membership. You know, having a ton of content is step 1, but step 2 is people like it. People are interacting with it. Now, this doesn't have to mean you've got a list of thousands or tens of thousands. This doesn't have to mean you've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, you know, consuming, or thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands consuming all the content you created. But you do have to have some social proof there, guys. And if you're creating a ton of content, you got a ton of content, and people aren't interacting with it, aren't engaging with it, aren't getting results from it, not the time to start an online course. I don't care how sexy it is. So those are the 3 glaring, like in your face, can't look away, it's gotta happen signs that it's time for you to create your own course, your own membership, and I'm gonna review. Can I do this off my notes? Let's see. Number 1, the course or the program, it's like happening to you. It's coming out of you. It's literally organically happening as a result of the work that you do one-on-one. You've created your own system by virtue of being an expert. It's working for people. And the course, the program, the membership content, it is creating itself. That's number 1. Number 2 is that you're already teaching, you're already working with people, and you're reaching capacity. There's more people that want things from you that you could possibly give with all the hours that you have in your day or your week. So you're at your capacity. You reach the threshold. Number 3, you've got a ton of content, and people love that content. Look at that. I did it all without the notes. All without the notes today, people. But I'm going back down to the notes. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. So what if you don't meet any of those criteria? What if you've got to number 3 and you're like, okay, but that's not me, but I just don't want to do it though. I feel this is right for me. How do you prepare yourself and your business to be ready to scale in that way, to create passive income through a course, through a membership service that people are subscribing to every month? How can you prepare yourself? All right. I think you knew what this one was coming. Number 1, if you are not already, you need to become a prolific teacher and content creator. Sorry, not sorry. That's got to happen. And this is a really good one I work with a lot of people that they've built successful offline businesses. Before the Google, there was the Yellow Pages, and that's their world. That's where they, made their millions, made their money. I got a lot of clients who may have had success in the offline world. They're transitioning to the online world, and there is a little bit of a bridge in translating what you do online. So my number 1 recommendation to prepare yourself in your business is you want to become a prolific teacher and content creator. You want to you got to get into the saddle. You got to get comfortable there. You have to get comfortable teaching things online, period. It is difficult, if not impossible, to come out of the gate having never created content online, or very little, or stuff that doesn't land that no one's ever read other than your Aunt Sally. Shout out to my Aunt Sally. It's very difficult to go from that place to I just fell asleep and woke up and I had money, a lot of it. So that's the first one. The second thing that you want to do is you do want to codify your signature process. So if it doesn't exist yet, it's time to start thinking, start evaluating, start really paying attention to how you work best with people. Or, for example, if you are out in the offline world giving keynotes and working with people one-on-one, what is the stuff that you're repeating again and again? What is the stuff you're teaching again and again? What are the processes that you're going over and over and over again? That's your signature process, people. You got to codify that. You got to get it into writing. You've got to, actually put it down on a napkin first. Just draw it out. Just go out for a drink. Take yourself out for a drink and just draw it out. And then you want to turn that into a process that you can then turn it into a course. Turn it into, the sort of outline of how you deliver content through a membership program. That's the second thing. And the third thing is you want to carve out, wait for it, guys. This is rough. You want to carve out 3 to 9 to even 12. I got to be real with you. You want to carve out between 3 to 12 months of time for this. So often, this is one of my biggest mistakes, and this is going to bleed into the red flags, because I got some red flags for you too. So often I see this, like, somebody comes to me, they're like, okay, I'm like launching a new brand and I just want to like edit this and that. I'm going to have all these programs and all these things. And I'm going to launch my own, I'm going to write, create, market, develop, execute my own course in the middle of all of this. I'm just going to like slap it together. I'm just going to like figure it out, quick money, quick millions, quick. Woo! Yeah, if only, right? If only. But that's not how it works, folks. You got to think about the different phases of creating, whether it's a course, whether it's a program, whether it's a membership. Number one, you got the content itself. What are you teaching people? That's the most important part. Number two, you've got the user experience. You've got the experience design. How are people going to be taught in this experience? From the moment that I press buy, what happens next? What happens next until the very end when I have gone through every single material and I am all the better for it and I love you and I'm your biggest fan? What is the experience from start to end? A lot of times people skip over that. They're like, oh yeah, just use like Kajabi. Doesn't it figure it out for you? No. You want to, just like you mapped out your signature process on a napkin, you want to map out your user experience, your customer experience for your course or your program or your membership site. You want to map that out on a napkin. How do I get, what is the process of learning? Then, of course, you got marketing and sales. I got to get sales pages and lead magnets and opt-ins and funnels and I don't know. I have all this stuff I have to do marketing the damn thing. And selling it to people. And then, of course, there's delivery. Then you got to actually do it. You got to be there. You got to have customer support. So you don't want to just carve out time in your schedule. You also want to carve out the emotional space to execute something like that. Heather says, fine. I'll do content on my site as well as around the web. Enough people have told me to do this week that I trust in the content, my friends. Trust it. Just trust it. Just faith. So, yes, I'm so happy to hear that, Heather. Do it. Get her done. You're the WordPress diva. You're the WordPress queen. Get me some WordPress. Unless that's not your thing. I'm just going to wait and let you do your content thing. So, yeah. So, you want to carve out the time. You want to carve out the emotional space to create this because it's going to be a doozy. As I said, I just laid out all those steps. And you also want to be, getting the right team members in place. Because, most of the time, a successful course or membership launch is going to have a team backing you up, helping you make it happen. All right. I'm going to end it off right now with some red flags. If you're still like, all right, I might not tick off every box, or maybe you do it. If you're still on the fence wondering if launching a course or a membership program, if that is for you, if it's the time, or if you should wait and maybe do it a little bit down the line, I've got some red flags. Here's one way to know it's not time. It's absolutely not time to launch a course, a membership program. And that's going to be that you're just starting out in business. And this is whether your business is brand new or you're making that transition offline to online. Let's say you've built up a successful company, but now you've never had a website or you really haven't paid, you built your website 10 years ago. You don't really care. And you're finally starting to get into the online game. Your first course of action should not be a course or a membership. It absolutely should not be. So that's the first red flag. If you're just starting your biz, it's most of the time not in your best interest to launch out the gates hoping that passive income is going to be the main way that you're building your business. Not yet. I'm not saying not ever. I'm saying not yet. So that's the first red flag that it's not quite right for you to build your own outcome. That was a little commercial break from awkwardness. You can go to awkwardmarketing.com. You literally can go to awkwardmarketing.com and find more of that kind of thing. So that's number one. Number two is going to be you don't have a following yet. You don't have any lists. You don't have any, and I know last week I did, my video was on no likes, no lists, no problem. I'm not saying your list is your be all end all of whether or not you can launch a course or a membership program. But if you have no online following, if you don't have people showing up and consuming your content online, showing up and paying attention to what you're saying online, it's going to be really hard to have the type of numbers that make launching a course or a program or a membership site worth it. So that's why I say if you have not yet, and that's why my tip before about preparing yourself in your biz was you want to become a prolific teacher and content creator on the internet. You want to practice getting in front of your audience that way, and you want to build a following that way. Because yeah, for courses and membership programs to pay off, you have to sell a lot of them. Not 5, not 10. You've got to sell dozens, hundreds, if not thousands, to really make an impact, depending on what you're selling and what the price point is and all that good stuff. So that was my second red flag. And my third red flag, my last point of the day, is this is a red flag. Do not launch your own course or your membership site, is if you have literally no idea like what you're going to do. If you just heard from a friend or saw a webinar or some expert you follow has been like course all day long, every day, membership course, make it. And you're like, okay, so I know I need to do a course or a membership site. I don't really know what I'm going to do there. I don't know what I'm going to teach people, but I'm going to do it, damn it, and I'm going to get rich. That is like the biggest red flag that it's just not time. If you're trying to like, you're like searching through your couch, being like, what can I find in here and turn into a program and sell for $9.99? Stop. That's not a reason. And you know what? Let me just say this. You have to ask yourself, what are you willing to pay for? And what do you want to pay for from experts? And what type of content do you feel worthwhile? For me, it's not content that someone sat around one day thinking, how can I just like figure out a way to make money with a course? And that makes me pissed when I find out that that's the reason why somebody launched a course. Going back to the very beginning of this video and what I talked about in the Marketing in Yoga Pants podcast episode last week, which you gotta get on it, marketingyogapants.com, is all about, let's go back to that phrase, organic scaling. I think really one of the reasons that I was so resistant for so long to doing any sort of online teaching was because I just saw so much of it was like masturbation. It was like marketing masturbation. I'm sorry to say masturbation over and over again. Let's just stop right here. I've said it enough. This is the end. We're at the end of the line here anyway. But is just so many people doing it for the sake of itself. Not because they wanted to make the world better, not because they truly knew that they had something that could help people, a lot of people, way more people than they could ever reach one-on-one. It was just simply because like passive income is cool and I am tired of working hard and I just want to make some money, That is the shittiest. Again, I'm talking about masturbation and shit, and it's crazy in here today. That is the worst, shittiest reason to be teaching people, whether you're online or offline. That's the worst reason to develop a product. It's the worst reason to be in business. And so if you're just like trying to figure out like what to like slap together and turn into a program, just don't say it did. There's other ways there's lots of other ways you can make like quick, sleazy money. And I'll tell you what, PM me and we could talk about those ways. This has been another episode of Awkward Marketing with, remember, can't spell awkward without RKA. It's been a blast. I'll see you next week here on Facebook, 11 a.m. Central. And let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about. What's on your mind? What would you like to learn? Let me know in the comments. I'm all ears. I'm actually all forehead, but I'm also all ears. So, I got both. I can work with both. All right. See you guys later. Bye.